Welcome to RealtyPitch.com, featuring your host, Akos Jankira, and friends. Learn how to become an elite real estate agent right here on RealtyPitch.com. Welcome back. Today's episode on Realty Pitch. I'm your host, Akos Jankira, host of RealtyPitch.com, a podcast where we try to make you elite real estate sales professionals. That's the objective, to give you skills that can get you up to the level of an elite status of real estate salespeople. All right, so we've talked about things like the profession of selling real estate. We've talked about things like bonding. Something occurred to me at the office today. I was up the brokerage over there on Fisherman's Village. I practice here in Punta Gorda, Florida. And I'm watching people's Facebook pages, social media. Let's talk a little bit today about social media, because social media is a trap. Can be used really well. It's a tool that you can really use really well for yourself. And also it's a trap that you could waste a lot of time and actually inflict damage on your real estate career. All right, you're supposed to say, what, inflict damage on your real estate career? Yeah, in my opinion, yes. So one of the things that I want to talk about with the social media is about narcissism. All right. I remember when I was working in television, and I was working at Home Shopping Network and QVC. I did QVC around the world. I went to England and Italy and Germany and Japan and Canada, Australia, and of course here at home in Philadelphia. And also I worked on HSN, which is down here in St. Petersburg, Florida, not far from where I am right now. And I never forget watching Emerald, watching Wolfgang Puck, watching Todd English, watching all of these great chefs. And I noticed something, especially in Wolfgang Puck's speech. And of course, you know, success leaves trails. And I want you to pick up on some of the other people's mistakes and take some experience and accelerate your career quicker so you don't fall into the same traps. So we'll just park Wolfgang Puck for a second and park Emerald for a second. Those two guys, everybody knows who they are. And there was another chef on air, and the chef was brilliant. Oh my gosh, great camera presence, great recipes, great execution, great meter in the voice, you know, very television, really well done up to the T. And I walked up to this person and I said, I think I can double your sales. And all we would have to do is change one thing. One word. One word will double your sales. Of course, that got their interest. And I watched this person over and over again, and they did it a lot. You're asking, what do they do? What's going on? Well, here's what they did. They would say things like, when company comes over, this is my favorite macaroni and cheese recipe. Let me show you why I love this recipe so much. Let me show you why people will want this recipe more. They'll ask you for the recipe before they leave. In fact, I get great results with my recipe. And in fact, the macaroni and cheese recipe was killer. It's a great recipe. But when I watched Wolfgang Puck execute the same sort of thing, his language was different. He would say things like, you know, at Christmas time, in, you know, his heavy Austrian accent, when you have guests come over, let me tell you something. This is going to be your guest's favorite part of your meal. This is going to be where your guests leave this house talking about their experience with this amazing macaroni and cheese recipe. Let me show you why your guests are going to love it so much. Let me show you why your guests, you know, will come back for seconds. Did you notice the difference there? The difference was one word. I took the word I, and I substituted the word you. I took the difference was being talking about myself versus talking about the people who my service was commending. I versus you. And this is serious stuff. And this is where social media can really screw you up. So, let me make a statement to you that it'll sound ridiculous. Nobody cares less about you. No one. Nobody. They care about themselves. They're buying the most expensive thing they ever bought in their whole life, a house. Do you think they care about you? Sure. I mean, there's certain boxes that need to be checked. They need to trust you. They need to listen to you. They need to follow your instructions. But most of you are all transactional agents, transactional brokers. You're responsible for the paperwork. They're hoping that you do that well. But really, it's about them. It's about the way they're going to feel about that macaroni and cheese recipe. And it has nothing to do with the fact, hey, I'm a hero. I make great macaroni and cheese. Let me share with you my great macaroni and cheese recipe. I versus you. And let me tell you something. This is going to be the hardest reflex for you to learn because every single human being talks about themselves first. They don't talk, very few people talk about other people first. Okay, this is important stuff. So when you're social mediaing, listen, I'm going to talk about social media, how I use it, but you'll never see me with my arms around a customer at a closing session and me posting that picture saying, I just sold 123 Main Street. Aren't I great? I am amazing. Look at how pretty I am. Look at how confident I am. And let me tell you something, this is dangerous stuff because that is classic narcissistic behavior, and nobody wants to buy from a narcissist. Nobody cares about your success selling a property. The only person who cares is your mother and father, maybe your sisters and brothers. Nobody else. Maybe a good friend. So when you're doing this on social media, in my opinion, you could be harming your brand. Now, I get it. You got to be doing branding, but posting a picture of yourself with your arm around a customer, my gosh, I actually saw a social media post where the agent was holding their own commission check and said, look what I have. Holding the check, celebrating their commission. That is some serious brand damage to a real estate agent. All right. You've got to take the approach of service. You've got to take the approach that it's everything is about them. Has nothing to do with you. You'll never see a post of mine. And listen, I got some serious followers. I got television presence. And over all my social media platforms, there's tens of thousands, maybe 100,000 followers. And not once do I ever, or if I do, slap me up the side of the head, do I do any bragging. And even if I win an award, my gosh, I've won a few. I have 2 Moxie Awards. Now, Moxie Awards are awards in television. I've won them for the best male presence host on television for selling stuff. Twice. I got them somewhere. I never posted those pictures. Here's me. I'm great. Look at me holding my award. Now, awards are important on social media, but not when you post them. So there's a clarity here that you have to understand. Third-party testimonials are important. You can post the award provided your brokerage, I don't know, your head office, I don't know whether it's Coldwell or KW or Remax, and your broker posts you acknowledging how a certain accomplishment that you've done, as long as an independent, like a third party is doing the bragging, you can share that, but you can't post it in the first person. Because if you do, you come off narcissistic. Having an award, like you won an Academy Award, and there's, I don't know, the Academy posting a picture of all their Academy Award winners, and you just happen to be one of them. If you share that, that is a third party branding you as good at your skills. So by all means, if you win Realtor of the Year award and you're at your board and there's the board president handing you an award and the board publishes it, not you, you share that. That became a testimonial. That's branding. You putting it up and saying how great you are is narcissistic. Okay? Listen, I fall into the trap myself. It takes me effort to stop doing that. However, I look for the opportunities when there's independent third-party testimonials, and never post your own testimonial. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh my goodness gracious. I saw this today in my own brokerage. 2 agents posted their own testimonial. Listen to this. This is how crazy this sounds. They get a good testimonial. Of course they get a good testimonial. They have to give you a good testimonial. They just spent $500,000 in a house, and they better start justifying that. Oh my gosh, the customer's going to write a good testimonial in the right time. But publishing it on your Facebook page? I saw one with a picture of somebody saying, hey, look at how great my testimonial is. Now, what are you trying to accomplish with that? You're trying to accomplish, I'm hoping, that you're not a narcissist. I'm hoping that you're trying to show people how credible you are and how other people experience great things with you, and they might experience great things with you too. But you can't do that in the first person. Now, if you put those testimonials on Google for a search and somebody searches you and that organically comes up, that's a testimonial. That's endorsement. But you can't put it on your front page of your Facebook page, because that's narcissistic. And nobody wants to buy from a narcissist. Now, I understand why you're doing it, but really when it comes down to that Wolfgang Puck versus that chef that I was trying to help. Pay attention to Wolfgang Puck and Emerald. They're really good at what they do. Why? Because if you ever watch Wolfgang Puck or Emerald, Emerald's making up a chicken piccata. He says things like, "Oh my gosh, at the next gathering, you bring this chicken piccata, bam, your guests are salivating." How different is that if I say, "I am great at chicken piccata. Let me share with you my great recipe. I am a king at when I serve chicken piccata with this recipe to the guests here. I am a narcissist." Social media can run you in that trap, especially Facebook and Instagram and all that kind of stuff. But how do you use those assets? Because listen, a good testimonial is an asset. A good endorsement's an asset. Being top realtor in the club is an asset. But you can't announce it yourself. Go get your broker to make a Facebook post. And then share that. But never in the first voice, always in the third voice. That's branding. It's a big difference between branding and narcissism, although there's a fine line between them. Are you getting what I'm saying here? One more thing I want you to here's one thing I want you to do too. Don't post your real estate business on your personal Facebook page. First of all, they might shut you down. because Facebook has rules that you can't run business on your personal page. Did you know that? I didn't until recently. Now, the reason I don't have my business on my personal Facebook page is because my personal Facebook page is for my dad. You know, when I really come down to it, it's for my dad and a couple friends. And my top realtor, and I want my dad to see it, and a couple friends who are cheering me on. Okay. Personal business, personal accomplishment. You can get away with first person stuff there because it's supposed to be just for your close circle of friends. But if you're using that Facebook page to promote your real estate business, first of all, you're in breach of, I believe you're in breach of some Facebook rules. So open a separate Facebook page designed for real estate. Hey, listen, I'm not saying don't go to your sphere. I'm saying, hey, guys, sphere over here. I've got a business page over here. I got Sunshine Lane Team over here. Listen, I run Sunshine Lane Team over here. Look at this, guys. Look, my broker gave me an award. Look, Joe Blow on Google shared this. Well, that's, you understand? Now, on my personal page, hey, Mom, look, I won something. Hey, kids, I'm a grandfather, so kids are rooting me on. And today's kind of environment, there's a day I used to send the kids the picture myself. In fact, what's interesting? Tides change. Just like I'll go on an aside here. Tides are changing when it comes to personal Facebook stuff. In the beginning, my kids wanted to put everything on these pages. Now they don't. They have for their kids, they have these things like Tiny Beans. It's a private, closed club, family only. They don't, my gosh, I put a picture of my grandkid up once, and my kids came to me and said, Dad, we don't want the picture of my grandkid or my kid all over Facebook. What? I can't brag about my grandchild on Facebook? No. However, I've got this closed one in here that all the family's on. Dad, go here and put your pictures up here. So there's this trend where Facebook is now becoming, because of all the nonsense in social media, it's not becoming, hey, Dad, here's my award page. So what's my takeaway? Separate your social media from your personal stuff to your business stuff and make a hard separation. Don't slip it in once in a while, okay? When you're doing a social media post, beware of the I versus you. Nobody cares about you. They care about themselves. They care about how what you say affects them. They don't care you won an award. They don't care you're holding a commission check. Actually, the commission check, I actually found that offensive. Hey, look how much money I made off you. It's like such a bad branding play. Look at how much money I made off you. Anybody else want to line up and get me some money? I want to take a picture of the money I'm going to make off you and I'm going to put over here. Narcissism. It's not branding. It's actually anti-branding. So be careful how you brand. We're going to talk a lot about branding. But I wanted to make this point because today it got my craw. It's in my tooth here. You know how you get something in your tooth, you can't get it out? This Facebook stuff was getting in my tooth and I couldn't get it out. Now, don't get me wrong. I make a lot of money on social media. Right? I make a lot of money on digital media. Now be careful, it's different. Digital media and social media are two different things. However, I do make a lot of money messaging on platforms that reach people. Okay? So that's important stuff. Don't be a narcissist. Be Wolfgang Puck, not the chef that I was. In fact, I saw that chef, his Facebook post, and oh my gosh, they didn't learn. My gosh, this is my go-to barbecue sauce. I love making this. I am great. I put sugar in it. I put, you understand what I'm talking about? Be Emerald. Bam. Guests of yours are going to go home and talk about it. Guests of yours are going to be sitting there for seconds. They're going to be licking out the pot. They're going to take the thing you stirred it with and they're going to lick it off themselves because they're going to enjoy that macaroni, mac and cheese so much. that they won't be able to stop talking about it. That's a big difference than bragging about your recipe. So don't brag about your real estate stuff. Always put posts up that are service related. If you look at mine, service related, here's information, get more information. Here's how to get the best value out of DeSoto County. Here's how to evaluate your home. Are you interested in what your home is worth? Here's how to get the best deals. Here's how to get financing. Here's how to serve you. Here's how to make your life better. Here's how to make sure you cross the goal line in a real estate deal and get the best deal, feel the best about it, get the best experience, have a lifelong memory about it. It has nothing to do with me holding up a check or putting my arm around somebody and photographing them on how great I was at closing a deal. So that's my takeaway on social media today. We're going to talk a lot about branding and how you can use social media to brand yourself. Okay? So that was my pet peeve today. You know, remember we talk about bonding a lot, right? This is all about, to me, with me, you know, it's all about bonding. And bonding is branding. Branding is bonding, right? It's just bonding in a bigger sense. And don't do anti-bonding thing, anti-branding, anti-bonding things. Narcissism is the quickest road to destroying your brand, right? I know sometimes it's socially acceptable on these social media platforms, but it's not when it comes to somebody parting with $500,000, $1 million of money. They really care about themselves then. They really care. They're scared. They're terrified. So make sure it's all about them, never about you. This is Akos Jankira, host of RealtyPitch.com. Hey, listen, if you want to go to RealtyPitch.com, go there. We have a great lead generation program there. You can get tons of leads. We have a great platform, and I teach you how to manage the leads and how to get them across the goal line. There's some great videos there. There's some advanced training things there. You know, what I do here in the podcast are like sales training 101, and over there it's like you know, getting a degree in selling real estate. And it's not expensive at all. There's some, you know, if you want to talk to me, it's easy. You can email me at akos, A-K-O-S .jankura, Jankura @gmail.com, akos.jankura@gmail.com. You can even call me or text me at 727-773-7829, 727-773-7829. Become an elite salesperson, become an elite real estate agent. And I hope I can help you along here, right here on RealtyPitch.com.